Hello and welcome to my video all about how to fix a tear in your jeans. As you can see, I have a pair of jeans here that have a tear. The first thing you need to do is take some sharp scissors and cut off all the loose and excess threads that are in the tear. The idea is to get rid of any fabric or threads that you don't want, because what you want is a clean join between the two sides of the tear. So I remove all of the unraveled fabric, and I also remove any fluff from the surface of the denim. And now the two edges of denim should meet neatly. To complete the rest of the tutorial, you're going to need a hand sewing needle that easily goes through denim, a sewing thread that matches the colour of your jeans. I'm going to use a dark blue thread, and I've chosen polyester because it's strong. And one more thing you're going to need is some sturdy woven fabric. Cotton canvas is a good choice, and that's what I'm using. You want it to be strong and sturdy and definitely not stretchy. But you also don't want it to be too thick because this is going to remain on the inside of your jeans. I'm using yellow just because it's clearer for the camera, but obviously you would use a material that matches the colour of your jeans. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is cut a piece of this fabric to fit inside the jeans. This piece of fabric is basically a patch, and it needs to more than cover the area of the tear. So I cut out a rectangle of fabric that covers the size of the tear and then some. I then placed this piece of fabric inside the jeans behind the tear. We're now going to sew the edges of the denim together and also onto this fabric patch. If you like, you can use sewing pins to attach the fabric patch onto the back of the tear before you begin sewing, but that is an optional step. You then need to cut a piece of thread. Ideally, this piece of thread will be long enough to do the entire mending process, but also not so long that it will tangle easily. If you're unsure, I find that using a piece of thread that's as long as your arm is a good place to start. You then need to put a knot in one end and feed the other end through the needle. You then take the needle in and out of the fabric patch and up through the denim at one end. Make sure before you start sewing that the fabric patch is in the correct place and covers the entire tear. I like to hold the jeans as shown because then I can feel if the needle goes through to the back of the jeans, which is obviously what you don't want. And now we're going to whip stitch all the way along. So you take the needle down through the denim on one side, pick up a small amount of the fabric patch, and then come up through the denim on the other side. So go down through the denim on one side, pick up a small amount of the fabric patch, and then come up through the denim on the other side. Whilst you're sewing, make sure that the needle only goes through to the fabric patch and not to the denim behind it. And then you simply repeat this all the way along, bearing in mind that the closer the stitches are together, the stronger this seam will be. Try not to go through the very edge of the denim, as it will be weakest there. You want to make sure that the needle goes through denim that's not unravelled, because you need it to be fairly strong to hold the stitches. When you get to the other end, it's likely there will be a little bit of a pucker in the denim. So try and put a stitch or two in the end to try and flatten that puckering. And then do whip stitch all the way back again along the seam. The more stitches you do across the seam, the stronger the seam will be, and also there will be more thread going over the top of the repair, which means that the repair will be flatter and neater as well. Once you get to the other end, if there's any puckering, then again you can add 2 or 3 stitches to try and flatten that out. And then I'm going to do one more pass along the seam. I would say that 2 passes along the seam is the minimum, but 3 or 4 passes is best in areas of high stress. Once I get to the other end of the seam again, I do a few more stitches just as reinforcement. And I then push the needle into the denim so that the point is on the inside of the jeans. This is just to hold the needle in place. You then need to turn the jeans inside out. I bring my needle up through the denim and up through the fabric patch, so that it's positioned at the end of the repair. As you can see, because I didn't pin the fabric patch in place, it's not entirely centred over the repair. However, as long as it completely covers the tear, then it works perfectly well. To finish off, I take the needle into and out of the fabric, tighten until there's just a small loop, go through the loop and tighten. And then I repeat that again, so in and out of the fabric, through the loop and tighten. You want to do this at least 2 times to make sure the thread is secure. And then you cut off the excess thread. Lastly, I use my fabric scissors to cut off the excess fabric. You want to leave approximately 1 centimetre of fabric all the way around. To finish the repair off neatly, you can then press this repair from both the front and the back of the jeans. Obviously, this fabric patch is on the inside of the jeans, and if you find that the edges of the fabric are irritating against your skin when you're wearing them, then you can always use some kind of fabric adhesive, probably an iron-on adhesive, to fix those edges of fabric down onto the denim. That way they will lie flat against the denim. And that's it, that's how you fix a tear in your jeans. I really hope you found this video useful, and thank you very much for watching.